The Rock Metal Podcast, episode 241 with Conviction.
All right, let's do it.
Sweet. Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. As I mentioned, show was Alium Terra by Wthcnvctn, who have got on the show with me right now. We've got a new album called Burnout Bright, which released on October 19th. Right now, I'm being joined by damn near the entire band. Share some stories about the music and share more info about what they've got going on. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for coming on to the show. Great music. Speaking of which, let's go listen back to that track, Alium Terra.
Alium Terra.
I've kind of been running across the country. I don't know where to start. What they claim to be, they have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51.
Well, if you're listening, my friend, pay attention to the end, because we're struggling to make it through the light. Faster and faster, we're closer to reaching the end. But what does that mean when we can't just pretend? What will we do if we can't comprehend? Gravity, gravity. As I ask myself, what reflection is wrong at? I get lost in the sky. The thoughts like dimensions beyond me. The cosmos collectively call me. The starlight around me. As I look into the starry sky, I see the light of your demise shining through the darkened night, shrinking the eye as the dark in time. Whoa, as we're stuck in time.
All right, coming back from Alium Terra, definitely a killer track, lead single off of the album. I'm curious, what is the story or inspiration behind the track?
This year we just we got into some new writing styles and things like that. But for concept wise, anyways, we were always curious about aliens and things like that. It's just kind of one of the things that were on the back of our minds. But we ended up writing the song. We found that Art Bell sample that you hear in the beginning there, where he's clearly talking about Area 51 and things like that. We just thought the song, the sample fit the song, and we kind of wrote around that. And it was I don't know, it was just fun. We went with it.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious. Does the album have a concept, or is it just this like one individual track?
It's just the one individual track that's kind of like the one-off. It was the last song that we had written for the entire album. We had the whole thing planned. It was mostly just stories of our lives and the struggles and things like that we go through. But then right before we were like about to call it wraps on the album, we just kind of pinched out this song in a couple of days, and we're like, this is sweet. It needs to go on there. And so we ended up just chucking it in there, and then it ended up being the main single.
Yeah, I'm curious, what about the track made it seem like it was the lead single?
I would say for me, a lot of it would just be the way that it's kind of written differently. It's more of a progressive style than the rest of the album. There's no two parts that are quite the same.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
It was a little different for sure.
Yeah. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who dug the track Alium Terra will be super excited to know that there is a lyric video available. So if you're going to go to today's show notes at www.therockmetalpodcast.ca, you can check it out. Now, guys, if you wouldn't mind taking us behind the production of the lyric video for Alium Terra.
Okay, so we teamed up with Art Unleashed. They're actually a local Edmonton graphic design and company, but they do things with like lyric videos, music videos, a whole bunch of different, logos and stuff. They actually did our logo design as well. But so we teamed up with, it was Logan and Cordell. They kind of spearheaded it. We went out to them and said, hey guys, aliens. And I knew this was going to be a perfect project for them because Logan was actually one of the guys that got me into a lot of the alien stuff. So yeah, it was kind of perfect, and I was like, hey, can you do this for us? And they hooked it up. They went above and beyond what we expected. The lyric video came out really great, and we're very happy that we teamed up with them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And good to getting some local love and some local support there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right, let's go listen to the next track, Burnout Bright.
Burnout Bright.
Everybody sing along for the times we wept. Into the kids that are all alone, fighting the fight just to feel at home. And to the stories of the great unknown, to the past that are yet to be shown. This is your battle cry, no shut up and fight. This is the anthem to a new kind of life. We're not alone and we will put up a fight. It's so bright, we're yet to show them that we'll burn out bright. I'm burning. Everybody sing along for the times we wept. Into the kids that are all alone, fighting the fight just to feel at home.
Rock Metal Nation, it's John from the Rock Metal Podcast for a real quick break to let you know that Jay over at Metal Mayhem Radio is looking to help you get your band in rotation on his station. So go ahead and hit up Jay at studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. That is studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. Just go ahead and say that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. He'll get you into rotation on Metal Mayhem Radio. All right, come back from Burnout Bright, another killer track. Now, part of the reason I chose this track, I don't know if you guys have checked Spotify or not, but this one I checked, I believe it was yesterday, the most popular track on Spotify.
That's awesome.
It's a similar question for you. What is the story or inspiration behind Burnout Bright?
Okay, so I guess like what we said, this is one of the tracks that we had completed before, like we were about to wrap it up, and it kind of it's one of those tracks where we wanted to be lyrically anyways, a beacon of hope. And it was, again, one of those tracks where we took a different route, style-wise, when we started writing it. It was just supposed to be something inspiring, I guess.
Okay, cool. I mean, I know you mentioned it on the album, a lot of it is stories from life, struggles and whatnot. Is this kind of one of the songs that says it's going to be okay?
Yeah, definitely. Whenever we get dark and gritty in one of our tracks, we try to wrap it up with a positive note at the end or something, to kind of take you through the story of, where we were at and, where we're planning on being or whatever it is, whatever kind of lesson is you can learn from the track. It's supposed to be pretty open-ended. Most of the album there, even Alium Terra is fairly open-ended for the meaning, but whatever, if the shoe fits kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now for Rock Metal Nation who dug the two tracks, Alium Terra and Burnout Bright, they're just frothing at the ears. There is a full album that was released on October 19th called Burnout Bright. Now I know that you'd mentioned that there's just stories about life on the album, but I'm curious if you wouldn't mind, when we pick it up, what should we expect?
Like we try to write about from the perspective of, well, we all go through struggles and sometimes we all just feel less than good, less than perfect, less than deserving, and looking at it from that perspective, but knowing that through our own collective experiences, things get better when you let them, or when you take a chance to see how things will go. And there's always that light of hope or beacon of hope, I think Sabian said, just kind of point you towards that direction. Through all the struggle, it's always worth it, because nothing worth having comes without some struggle.
Cool. Very well put, my good man. Now, the next logical question on Rock Metal Nation's mind, who's dug the two tracks they've heard today and is super excited about the full album Burnout Bright, is where can we find you guys on the web and or stay in touch? Is there a website that we should go to?
Okay, so, right now we don't have a website set up. However, we are on Facebook. We're on the socials. You got us on Instagram. You guys can follow us on Twitter. Hit us up on Spotify. That's becoming more of a social platform as well, where you can stay updated with, some concerts, and get behind with the lyrics and things like that. But yeah, right now, if you guys follow us on Instagram, hit us up on Facebook, and you're bound to stay up to date with what we're up to. Cool. Also, you can find us on YouTube. We have a little series called Conviction TV, where we're just kind of get goofy and have fun. Super plug there. YouTube is a new platform for us, but it's a lot of fun making the videos. And if you guys really want to get in there, kind of hang out with us, that's a great place for that as well.
Cool. All right. Well, boys, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come onto the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing with conviction with Rock Metal Nation.
Well, guys, if you're here on Rock Metal for the first time, make sure you give them a follow. This is awesome. Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it. You guys are awesome.
All right, Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully just found your new favorite band in With Conviction. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.